This is the new poem that God has inspired me to make, and it's titled Forgiveness. I hope you guys can take something from it and enjoy. And it goes, I am sorry. Why aren't these words enough? My actions prove these words, but why is it still not enough? Why do you continue to hate me and refuse to forgive me of this mark I have placed here on this blank paper? Is my pursuit of love not enough? Or is putting myself on my knees not quite enough? Why can't I wipe this dirt off this paper? Is what I've done to you really so bad, causing you to continue to wish death upon my soul? Is there really a space that's really so far between us for us to not be able to place a bridge in the middle? Have we honestly become so distant, and have the I love yous no longer mean anything? Do you truly hate me, and has your pride honestly said my actions aren't worth forgiving? Suffocation, aggravation, and retaliations, are these the emotions and actions that you feel? Corruptions, destruction, eruption, is this how our bondage ends? Is this our final seal? We have a whole blank image of great momentums in our lives, but why choose to focus on the wrongs? Instead of doing good, we choose to give in, messing around with the notes of what could be a peaceful song. Christians, brothers, sisters, friends, and family, why do we allow the devil to place walls between us? Why is it so hard to forgive one another for their wrongs and allow it to separate us? We won't forgive each other, but we become hypocrites when we ask God to forgive us. Matthew 6 verse 14 and 15 states, if you forgive others their wrongs, your Father in heaven will also forgive yours. If you do not forgive others, then your Father will not forgive you either. So why don't we forgive when it's burning your chest like ether? We keep it in and we say we dislike them, or we're ignoring them. Then we're cursing them and finally hating them. When you don't forgive, you begin to hate people no matter how small or how big the problem. It's amazing how we're so grown, yet children act more mature than you and I. Yes, they are more mature than you and I, for they handle their problems different from you and I. They argue and fight only to laugh and joke in seconds, because they know at the end of the day, they need each other. They love each other. In Matthew 18 verse 3, Jesus states, I tell you the truth, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. What this verse means is that if your hearts are not as pure like a child's, then you'll fall short of heaven. Is not letting go of our grudges worth not being in heaven to see our Savior, your Father? Is not letting go of this grudge worth not being able to sing, worship, speak, or be with your brothers and sisters? Love, what a word of lost meaning, a word where forgiveness makes a great part of its definition. A word that we say so often. We say this word constantly without truly meaning it, because if we did, then I love yous wouldn't become I hates so often. Don't you see how life without forgiveness kills the soul? Don't you see how life without forgiveness grips you, confining you to darkness, not ever letting you go? Don't you see how life without forgiveness eventually isolates you from the rest? You begin hating one person only to hate all those who associate with them. And when asked what they did wrong to you, you bring forth nothing to confess. You begin to let yourself believe that they too are your enemies, allowing hate to manifest in you like a disease. You allow hate to become your best friend when love is awaiting you, to change you, and to take away your pains with ease. Joseph, the father of forgiveness, forgave his brothers for their betrayals. For Joseph's actions of forgiveness gave us a strong and vivid picture of Jesus' personality portrayals. Joseph's brothers made fun of him, beat him, and thrown him into a well without killing him. Instead of killing him, they made profit off of him by selling him to an Egyptian, hoping to never see him. Joseph's brothers' jealousy led to Joseph being enslaved by the Egyptians. Because of his brothers, Joseph's father suffered a life of remorse that had no limitation. Because of his brothers, Joseph spent time in jail for 2 years when he was completely innocent. Because of his brothers, Joseph did not see his mother's life come to an end because of these events. Because of his brothers, Joseph missed out on 13 years of his life with his family and his friends. And after all these events, Joseph still says to them, don't be angry with yourselves that you did this to me, for God did it. He has placed me here ahead of you to preserve your lives. Genesis 45 verse 5. God, with his unconditional love, sent us his Son, John 3 verse 16. He sent us his Son to reconcile his connection with us, always fighting for us behind the scenes. But we called him a devil. We called the Son that God had sent us a devil. We threw rocks at him. We cursed him. We spat at him. We beat him. We humiliated him. We accused him. Then we finally crucified him. And he looked to the heavens, still on the cross, saying to his Father, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Luke 23, verse 34. He asked for forgiveness while he was hanging on the nails from the cross. Imagine the pain he had to endure. Jesus took physical abuse, and his blood still forgave us with a forgiving soul. Jesus took a nail in his left hand for our betrayals, with a forgiving soul. Jesus took a nail in the right hand for our transgressions, with a forgiving soul. Jesus, through both feet, took one nail for our grudges, with a forgiving soul. Forgive, people, forgive. Don't you feel the pressure leaves your chest? Untie the shoelaces of grudge that confine your heart so your heart may beat without stress. Joseph and Jesus went through nightmares and they found it in their hearts to let it go. Somewhere inside of you, you do still love that person. Just forgive them and free your soul. You don't have to endure this storm no more. Pray for strength and let the sun shine upon you. Let the stress flow from your fist, allowing them to turn to palms to open and let joy cut through. Don't let a grudge allow you to miss out from heaven. Don't let what your father or mother did to you to make you miss out on a chance to be in heaven. Don't let what your brother or sister did to you make you miss out on a chance to be in heaven. Don't let what someone said to you or stole from you to make you miss out on a chance on heaven. Don't let what God can give you make you miss out on a chance of rejoicing in heaven. She stole your boyfriend, but don't worry, God will give you a husband that will last you. He stole your girlfriend, but don't worry, God will give you a wife that will last you. For the devil lives to divide while God lives to love and unite. If you love God truly, then obey him enough to forgive what your heart can't bear to hold so tight. God died for you, so let your grudge die for him. So we may move without blindness, but now with sight. A heart with so much grudge can only bear violence. War as an example. No more will we trample, for we are Christ's living examples, his disciples. Ephesians 4 verse 31 to 32 states, get rid of all bitterness, rage and anger, brawling and slander, along with every form of malice. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other just as Christ, God, forgave you. So now the question is, next time I apologize and prove it with my actions, will you forgive me or will I forgive you? Could you see past the pain? Can you see past the wrongs? Can you see past the hate? For if you can't see past the grudge and hate, then blindness to heaven is your fate, and with the devil you shall quarrel and debate. But to set yourself free from such a destined fate, then let it go. Let it go, and let it unconstrict your soul. Let it go. Forgive those who done you wrong, because your melody was to begin here on earth and to end in heaven in a beautiful song. Don't let forgiveness rob you wrong, for you didn't just suffer here on earth to not go to heaven where you belong. And that is the poem. I would like to thank you guys for listening, and hopefully you guys could learn something. Forgiveness is key. Forgiveness is key. That's it. Just forgive. Let it go. And God bless.